Hello, my friends. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Different place, different time, and we're doing something totally different today. It could be great, it could be crazy, but I wanted to bring you along. So, without further ado, let's bring you down. All right. So, my goal today is to show you how exciting the annual catalog is. And if you need an annual catalog, I would love to help you do that. So drop me a note and I'll tell you. I can't send them for free because the postage is significant. So I would have to charge you the postage to get them to you, but I can help you get one. In the meantime, there is a PDF, and I will put the link below, where you can look at it online. You could load that PDF on your tablet and you could look at it there. And that's absolutely free. So, anywho, the catalog is like a wish book. If you were like me or my kids, when the Sears Christmas book came along, we all grabbed we didn't use Post-it notes back then. We grabbed our markers or our crayons and we circled the ones that we wanted and why we loved it. Well, that's what this can do. So when you get your hands on either the PDF or the actual catalog, there's two of them out right now. There's a holiday one too. We'll use that later. When you get that, you're going to want to thumb through. So I'm not going to bore you with going through the whole catalog. I'm going to leave that surprise to you. But what my plan today is, I went through the catalog. I started at the beginning. You can tell I didn't get very far. And I picked a card. I don't have the stamp set. And I'm not going to copy the card, but I'm going to use it as a jumping off point for my card. This is my pinspiration because I might want to pin it later. It's not on Pinterest for me yet. Okay, so this is the card I'm going to work on, right? This is using the flowering tulips, and I love it. But this week we're all about apple harvest. So we're going to use apple harvest to recreate this card, right? Okay, but last week I showed you the Happy Forest Friends designer series paper, and how we can cut that and have it ready. So since I don't need to worry about what my papers are going to be, that's what I'm using. This is my pre-cut where I showed you, and again, I'll link that to the post where you can find how you prepare it so it looks like this. All right, so this is the card we're going to work with, which means it's going to be a horizontal fold, and I have to decide. I can either use Old Olive or I can use our basic white. And you know what? I think I'm going to do two at the same time. So let me move that up there a little bit. Can you still see it? You can. All right, so there's the two card fronts we're going to work with. Then we have this piece of just white cardstock, but I love this paper. So I'm going to add this to my card. Now it's not in there. Remember I said this is a jumping off point. So I'm going to pop that right there. And now this is one of the sides of the paper that you would think, it's really pretty. So I'm going to use that. I'm also going to take this card and turn it this way, just cuz. And I think I'm going to use this one, but maybe I'm going to use, I was thinking there's others I haven't used yet because I did love this. Let me see what's on the back. And this is literally the process to create a card, right? You just kind of look around and see what you got for options. Ooh, that would be cool. Let's do that one. All right, so we're going to use this one. And now we're going to work with our piece of white. So I'm going to glue these guys down so I don't have to worry about, I made my decision. And then I can move this stuff out of my way. Sometimes the decision making is the hardest part. Just commit. It's a card. You can make more. All right, put you down. If you're watching the replay, please comment below and say replay so I know that you were here, even though you watched it later. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, by all means do it, and it will pop up and let you know. Yeah, we're going to go with this side. I almost second guessed myself. I just said commit, just do it. Then I was thinking, well, maybe, no, do it. Okay, so we're going to go here, and now we're ready to grab our white Now I could use other colors, but I'm going to go with the white. Move you over here. Yeah, move you over here. All right, now we've got our white. Oh, I'm going to need 2 of these. Let me grab, I can tell I go through a lot of white. All right, so here's our white. But this is I'm going to eyeball it, and this is what you're going to do. I'm going to look at that and say, that looks like a 4x4 to me. I could be wrong, but I'm going to take my trimmer, because the catalog doesn't tell you what the sizes are. You have to, that's why it's just pinspiration. So I'm going to cut my 4x4 and see how it looks. Oh, nope, too big. All right, so let's go 3.5 by 3.5. Again, it's trial and error, and no, I didn't do this before you came. I am doing this with you. We're going to go 3.5 by 3.5. Again, it's paper. If I mess it up, I can always fix it. Yep, that's what I need. So now I need 2, because we're doing 2 cards at once. You don't have to do that. I just want you to see as many options as possible in our short little time together today. So 3.5. Hope you're having a good day. I have a grocery pickup at 1. So, you know, busy, busy, busy. So this, where am I going to put this? Because remember, I'm going a different way. I think I'm going to go down here with it, and I'm going to put my sentiment up here. So in this picture, they use a totally contrasting color. I am super matchy-matchy, and I don't know if I can do that. So I'm going to look at some of these, but I'm also going to look at, I have, this would look great. This is Calypso Coral, which is one of the colors that coordinates with this grouping. And the other is our Old Olive. And I'm going to use, and I could use Old Olive on this, or I could use one of these, which is the exact same paper. These were strips that I cut, and I could use that. I don't think I want the exact one. What about, ooh, let's go with this one. Okay, so that's going to do that. And instead of the solid, I could use this one. I think that's what we're going to do. There, working through these things. But it's too big, right? So I'm going to guess and make this a little bit smaller and see how it works. I'm going to go with, so this is a 4. I'm going to go with 2.5 and see if that looks right. Again, I just guessed it. And 2.5 by 1.5. So if you're writing these things down, this little piece is going to be 2.5 by 1.5. And the reason I decided to go with a pattern is that it gives a little more something to my card, but it's going to be contrasting, but not screaming. I'm not a really adventurous. I tend to go matchy-matchy a lot of the time. Did I say 1.5? I think I did 1.25. Sorry, gang. Yes, 1.25. Get over there. Oh, yuck. 1.25. Okay. Get your finger out of the way and it will trim better. Right. There. I think we might be done with the trimmer for a minute. All right, so this is going to go here, and this one is going to go here. If you look real close, there's a tiny little strip underneath it to just highlight it. And I am going to use strips from each other. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to pick a tiny little strip of this one for that card, and a tiny strip of, where is it? The Calypso one. I've used that one a lot already. I think I have more. I guess I don't. Okay. Well, then maybe I'll phase that into something different, I will grab a piece of the actual Calypso. And remember that I said was 2.5, so I'm going to cut this at 3.5, and then just 1/4 inch. I want it to be super tiny. And remember, if you're trying to do something on the trimmer that tiny, you can use the other side of the trimmer. So there's that one. And then I need this to be... So the beauty of having these pieces pre-cut is I don't have to go digging through the box and pull something out. I think I said 3.5, didn't I? Did I? I did. Okay, now I'm really done. All right, so all my pieces are ready. You're going to go there. You're going to go there. Now I can start my stamping. So let's look at this. This has a couple of things. This has the tulips and the stem stamped, but the leaves are dies that are punched. Well, the good thing about the apple blossom one is I do have dies that stamp the leaves. So I can do that. The apple blossom has these leaves. So I can do a bunch of these at the same time. So I'm just going to pop these guys out. Now I could stamp them. Hey Jeanette, but I think I could stamp and color them. 3. 1, 2, 3. But I'm just going to cut those from one of our pattern papers, and it's going to give me leafy looks. I'm going to just pop these guys on here like this. Again, another piece that I already had cut, and I'm going to just pop that and run it through the through the machine. All right. Okay, so let's move you over for a minute. We'll bring you back when we're ready for more to see how we did at the end. And we're going to bring up our plates. Remember, I tell you how cool these are. You just read them. 1, 2, 3 is what I need. So 1, 2, 3. Pick this up and not drop anybody. Put you on. Now these are going to be my leaves that are going to go on top, and I did enough for 2 cards. There we are. And that should be all I need to use the machine for. Unless I think of something else. But see how these leaves look like, because I used a pattern paper, they got this cool dimension to them. Yeah, there's one. When it gets stuck like that, you can use your little pokey pen, take your pick tool, and there's little bitty holes back here, and you just poke it through, and it will pop the die out. There it is. Take your pick tool is a great addition to your tools. You know, you can never have too many tools. Alright, we're going to put this back in the drawer. Alright, so now, there's our leaves. Let's take our and I am going to use this stamp, which is, if you look over here, it's this one. Okay, so I'm going to use the same one on both, and this time I'm going to use Memento. If you were here earlier this week, I used crumb cake with it, but I'm going to use Memento on this one. So you ink this baby up, and I'm going to put it right in the middle. And then the same with this one. And I'm going to prepare it. I'm going to go and color and any other things I want to do to it. I am still in the watercolor pencils because I love them. And I want to make sure that you can see how simple these are to use and how gratifying. When you use them, you feel like you actually might be artistic. Come on out. Oh, you're not cherry cobbler. Where's cherry cobbler? There you are. So I'm going to go with cherry cobbler for my apples. And again, the same thing we did the other night. I'm going to start where the artist put the shading and make sure that that's the heaviest color. And as you color and put it down, that's where you're going to get the most color. And then you can just kind of fill in the blanks. And if you didn't see me do this before, you're thinking, you are the worst colorer I've ever seen. I am going all one direction. My childhood reminders of color in one direction. But it isn't really filling in all the spaces, right? We're going to fix that, don't worry. We're going to come down here and do this one. And then this. And then this. Okay? We're doing that with the cherry cobbler. A little bit in the center of our blossoms. Then we're going to grab our garden green and do our leaves. I should have music. And then our, oh, I don't know, Cajun Craze, is that too crazy? Oh no, that kind of looks good. Cajun Craze to do our stem, branches. Alright, a little bit more green over here. Okay, hold on to that for a second. I'm going to come do this one. Then I'm going to bring in my blender pen and make this look super cool. Again, heavier where the artist that created the stamp wanted you to have shading, because that will help it look more realistic, more round, not so flat. And you don't have to be artsy to do it. Okay, go around in here, and then onto the green. Green. Now, if you are not a watercolor person and you like your Stampin' Blends, those work great too. You can use that on this card or any card. The Stampin' Blends are great. They're a more vibrant color. Watercolors tend to be more muted, softer, pastel-y. Okay, and now it's time for the blender pen. Blender pens come in a pack of 3, last forever. Lana said the other night she's had one for 30 years. That's a long forever. They have a double end on them, so you really get a lot of use out of them. I start where it's darkest, and you'll notice that even though there's not as much pencil here, the color comes over from where the dark one was, where I had more pencil, more coloring. There's really no forgiveness if you go outside the lines, so try not to. If you do, well, you did. Then people will know it's handmade. And a person did it, not a machine. If you really feel like you messed up, you can start again. No one will know. Right? Now, if you feel like you've gotten a lot of color and you don't want any more, and you want to get your pencil clean, your blender brush, you just wipe it on white paper till it draws clear. And then you can start here, because I don't want these guys to be really pink. I just want a little something on them. I'm just going to go right ahead to my leaf. It's okay. I didn't have enough on there to worry about. Onto this leaf. All right. And then a little bit of this. And again, if the green carries onto here, it's okay. Here we are. Now, since that's what I was just using, I'm going to go back to that. And then I'll clean off my blender pen before I go to the red. And I'm going to do these guys first so they're not as bright. There's that. And then our leaves. To be honest, if I were doing this by myself, I probably would go a little bit slower, but I don't want to keep you here all afternoon. I know some of you are trying to grab this quick before you go head out and do other things. Remember, if you're not subscribed to this channel, if you hit the subscribe button, it will it'll let you know when I'm going live. Tried to schedule this, it didn't pop up the way I wanted, so disregard. Technology doesn't always work the way we want, but coloring does. Okay, so we're good with that. Now it's time to see how the card should look and what we're going to do with it. All right, so there's our leaves. Let's bring our card back, our inspiration for this event. It's right here, and you can see it's cut into 4s. Okay, I'm going to bring my trimmer back. And I'm going to cut, get these out of here so I don't get confused and try and put them on the card. So this is 3.5. So that's the mathiest thing I have to do. So it's 175 is the middle. So I'm going to go right down at 175 and I'm going to cut. And then I'm going to turn it this way and do a 175 this way. Okay, that's you. Same thing for this one. Again, you're probably not making 2 of these, but you could. 175 together, 175. Okay. Now we're ready to put this together. See how that works? All right, let's put you over here so you're not a distraction. We're going to start with you and our adhesive. I don't know where you go. This is like a puzzle. You go there. You go there. You go there, you go there. Okay, phew. I adhesive the one I didn't want. I want to start with you, the left corner. Now every stamp that you choose is going to be a little bit different. You could do this with anything. So I'm going to go here, leaving equal spaces on the top and bottom. This one, I'm going to do the same thing. I don't think that's right. That's right. With an equal space in the middle as this side, so that it looks, and it, again, I'm eyeballing it, I'm not measuring anything. Then this one is going to go here, and then one more. So just because it in the catalog they used a stamp set you didn't have, doesn't mean you can't do it. And now you put you there, right? Now I have this, and I am going to do thanks for your kindness sentiment, which is right here. I'm going to put that right in the middle. Might as well do this one while I have it out. Then I'm going to put this on with dimensionals along with, which I thought I had them out here, I do, along with my leaves. Remember those leaves we did? But behind it, I'm going to tuck that little strip. This could be ribbon, but for us today, it's going to be a strip of paper because I don't have a ribbon that coordinates. You use what you have. Whoops. All 4 of these. And I'll bring the catalog back so that you can see. That's going to go right, whoopsie, right there. And I'm going to take my snips and I'm going to trim you off. Here's that. Okay, now I get to add my leaves. And I was going to put those with dimensionals. I don't know if the little ones are too little. I don't have any mini dimensionals. If you don't have mini dimensionals, you can cut these. So I'm going to put these babies on right here. And some adhesive. I could use a glue dot too. Put you right there. Whoops, I dropped one. Come here, you little bugger. You're little. And you are going to go right in here. Okay, so there's that card. Let's bring this over and we'll do the same thing here. Only I'm going to try and figure out where they go before I start gluing. Okay, that's how that one's going to go, right? So start with this, and you're going to position it, the left corner first, in equal distance from the top and the side. And then you keep that spacing all the way around. Make sure they're level at the top. And lasty one. Right? You get adhesive on the back and you get your strip across there. Then our dimensionals. And then our leaves. Okay? So you are going to go like that. And then, so we are 28 minutes and we have done 2 cards using our catalog to help us pick what they're going to be. Now, again, you don't have a catalog, just go to the PDF and you can do that. You can also go to my site. If you go to Kara Miller and you'll see Shop Stampin' Up, click on that and it will show you all the products. And you just have to get beyond the idea that you're only looking at products to purchase, but that you're looking at the examples in the artwork as ideas that you could reproduce. Remember, in stamping, case is okay. Copy and share everything. So now we can take our favorite little gems and sprinkle a few of those around. These are the little iridescent pearls. I love these guys. A few pearls here and there. I'm going to go with the littler ones on this card just so you can see there's a difference. Now I'm going to bring the catalog back and let's take a peek at that and see how do we do. Now it's a totally different stamp set, right? So here's our pinspiration. We started here, and this is what we did based on that. Okay? Using different stamp sets, different paper, different direction, but we started here and we wound our way around till we got to these. Right? Super fun. Okay, that's what we're doing every